Over where the houses are. I lived on the hill for a year, so I know most of it, but I think a lot of stuff has changed, so we'll see what's going on. As you can see, we have all the parking meters. Have to pay those because they have like 10 meter maids that wander around all day. As you can see to our right, we just have different housing. This is mostly students in this housing, and most of the housing close to the entrance to CU Boulder will be students. And then as you go further west on the hill, you start to see a lot more families and wealthier people. Alright guys, funny story about this house. My buddy was smoking a cigarette up on that roof and dropped his phone and went to lunge for it, but then remembered he was on top of a roof. So he almost took a like a 40-foot spill off the top, but somehow managed to keep hanging on. I guess it's not 40 foot, 20 foot. And then right next to them, we have the Boulder Police Department, the division that is on the hill, here to police all the kiddos who are out drinking every night, being crazy. And then right next to that, we have a Chase Bank. Pretty convenient if you bank with Chase. All right, we'll go across the street here. Looks to be that that's all new painting. I don't remember that being painted. All right. Now this used to be a haircutting place. They mostly did men's haircuts, like fades and different stuff. And looks like they are gone. That's kind of a bummer. I used to go there all the time. Alright guys, right to the left of that we have Rose Hill Liquors, and then to the right of that we have 7-Eleven. Rose Hill generally gets pretty busy on the weekends with all the college kids buying booze, but it's just a tiny liquor store. The prices are a little more than other places, but it's very convenient. So from here we can either go straight, we can go right. Actually gonna go straight right. Here you can see we have all sorts of critter-proof trash cans here. Recycle, compost, and landfill is how they have them all set up. All right. Right here is a food court, and this is right next to Chase Bank, actually right underneath it. And it has a bunch of different food options. Let's see what it has. Kitchens on College. All right, so we have pizza, Boulder salad. They're pretty good. I used to eat there a fair amount. Boulder burger, Gurkhas. So got a bunch of different options in there to eat if you don't want to eat on campus. All right, Peckish looks new. I'm not sure what Peckish is. That used to be a burrito place with the bar up top where you could go and drink and watch people on the hill. Here's Deli Zone. Deli Zone's been here a long time. They do good sandwiches and everything. Good place to get breakfast sandwiches. All right, and if we go down this way a little bit, as you can see, that is CU Boulder's campus right there. And what we would do is go underneath right there, and then you can go under and into the campus. Here we have College Optical. And those are apartments up there that people can rent. Moving on, there's Silver and Gold Barber and Stylist. Good barber shop for if you're on the hill. And of course, we got a Starbucks. Now there is a Starbucks like 2 blocks down this way, but they can make money, so they put one here. I'm gonna cross real quick. All right, and here's a Walgreens. That went in while I was still like a senior in college. And I'll tell you what, I wish that was there the whole time, because that is convenient. Go there and get whatever you need. And as I was saying before, let me turn around, and the entrance to CU Boulder is right over here. But what we'll do is we'll come back and go this way. As you can see, we're headed towards the mountains, so we're headed west. Pretty chilly out today, guys. It's like 30 degrees out, but it feels a lot colder. All right, the barber joint. I used to go there to get my hair cut also. Funny story, I was a broke college kid and ran out of money, and my card actually bounced. So I had to wait in there while I called my mom so she could pay for my haircut. And right next to that, we have what used to be a Chiba Hut. I don't know what's going on here, so we'll see what the sign says. I don't know. Looks like Chiba Hut's leaving us. They had been there for years and years. My favorite part of Chiba Hut is you can get fresh sprouts on your sandwich. That's always good. So go try the White Widow there. It's a chicken, ranch, and all these vegetables. Super duper good. Here we have Tribal Rights. It's a piercing shop and a tattoo shop. At the time that I was living on the hill, I had a girlfriend that went in there and got probably the silliest tattoo I've ever seen, but I did not have the heart to tell her that, so I said it looked nice. All right, here's one of my favorite spots on the hill, no doubt, called The Corner. And The Corner does food. They do all sorts of different types. They have gluten-free options, they have Thai bowls, they have all different sorts of stuff. So it's a good spot. It's kind of expensive, but worth it every once in a while. All right, and here, as you can see, that's now called the Point Cafe. That used to be Roma's, which was a very popular coffee shop, and more of the kind of heady, hippie type people hung out there. And that went out when I was a senior. So never been to the Point Cafe. And from here, we'll just, we'll walk down this way and then we'll cross the street and go over there. All right, here we got Fat Shack. Fat Shack is notorious for deep fried stuff. So if you look here, they got deep fried desserts. Like Oreos, Snickers, they deep fry all these different candy bars and everything. If you want really, really drunk food, and when I mean drunk food, I mean food when you're drunk, Fat Shack is the place to be. That is the grease bomb right there. Have a good one, dude. Yep, have a good one, guys. All right, guys. So that is called the, let's take a look here, Masala and Gaia Burger. So this used to actually be called Gyrie's, and looks like that has gone out. Also, big changes on the hill. Lots of businesses flip around here. Hard to pay the rent because the rent is very, very expensive here. All right, guys, and here we have Illegal Pete's. So that burrito place I was talking about earlier that was up there, that was actually Pete's, and they have just moved down to here. And this is where an Abo's used to be, but Pete's took over. And Pete's is nice because they have a full bar in there, so you can get burritos and beer. Here we have a pretty classic place right here. Albums on the Hill. And that is a Boulder staple, pretty famous. They have a huge selection of different albums and everything. And heavy in the music scene right here. Across the street you can see the Fox Theater. So a lot of musical artists come through here. And it's a great place, it truly is. A lot of history down there, a lot of cool rare stuff. The owner of it's a pretty cool guy. And here we have my absolute favorite business on the hill. So this is University Deli, or as we called it, Smelldell, or Smelly Deli. As you can see, they got your papers covered, they got your blunt wraps covered, they got cigarettes, they got tobacco, they got all sorts of groceries. And then to top it off, they have a little diner in there. And my favorite thing to get was always the steak, egg, and cheese sandwich. And they were open 24/7 too, so I'd go in there about 4 in the morning, get a steak, egg, and cheese, and it was always good. Alright guys, so we are at 303 Boards. This went in pretty recently. I don't remember this being here. Meta Skate Shop used to be on the hill also, but Meta is no longer there. They moved down to Pearl Street and then they moved to a different location. Looks to be, here we got some sort of shoe store. They're too cool to have their business name on the door, so let's see if we can scoot back. No, maybe that's just 303, an extension of 303 Boards. Not sure on that one. All right, and here we have Lollycup Coffee and Tea. These people do tons of boba tea. So I used to come here all the time and get mint chocolate chip boba tea. And that's the bubble tea with little tapioca drops in it. Pretty good. It was also a pretty mellow place, like pretty low key, and nobody was really too loud in there, and I always appreciated that. Alright, so from here, we're actually going to go across the street again and back up to where we were, but we're going to check out the businesses on the other side of the street. Alright, we'll start down here with one of the most famous establishments on the hill. It's called The Sink. When Obama came here years ago, this is where he actually came to do all the handshaking and everything, so... They do all sorts of food. It's a full bar. It's a good place to go if you don't want to leave the hill, but you want to have a good time. So The Sink. Kind of feels like a giant cave in there too. It has a real cool feeling to it. All right. Coming up here, you can see that there are condos or little apartments up there. They're pretty nice inside there. I had some buddies living there. Definitely costly though, convenient because you're so close to campus. Here we have a Taco Bell. Man, I cannot get over how many shops have changed up. That used to be a pizza place, which my buddy worked at, so I got free pizza for like a whole year. And now it's a Taco Bell. Nothing wrong with Taco Bell though. But now Taco Junkie has competition. Which taco establishment will prevail? I don't know. I'm rooting for Taco Junkie. And Taco Junkie also has a bar inside there, so you can drink beer while eating your tacos, which is always a good time. And here, this is advertising the lofts on the hill, which are those apartments and condos. And then looks like there's a new place in there called Ado's Bar and Ado's Kitchen. All right. And one of the most famous places in Boulder we are at right now, this is the Fox Theater. And the Fox Theater has all sorts of different musical artists that come. It's notorious for every year having Tyler the Creator, and then a bunch of teenagers like to riot in the street and act hard. I've seen a lot of good bands there, and a lot of good groups, from Doomtree to Murs to seen tons of people there, tons of good stuff. So it's a nice intimate venue. It doesn't have too many people, and it's mostly just standing. So if you want to see your favorite artist up close, that is the spot. All right, here we have Boss Lady Pizza and a Core Power Yoga Studio. So Boss Lady's known for having all sorts of different toppings on their pizza. They do stuff that's kind of out of the norm. If you ever go there, try their dessert pizza. It's actually pretty good. And I used to like to go there at about 1:45 in the morning because they closed at 2. So they would give me a ton of free slices of pizza. Huge shout out Boss Lady. You guys fed me a lot. Here we got Jimmy John's. Been there a while. Funny story, I had a buddy that tried to jump over the counter and work at the Jimmy John's, and they were not having any of it. This is the Buff Stuff Marketplace, and the last time I was in there, they had all sorts of buff gear, from clothing and all that, and it looks like they were doing a textbook pickup inside there. I'm not sure if that is a temporary thing, if that's there year-round. And here we have a ramen house. That looks new, and that sounds pretty good. Looks pretty good. I think those upscale ramen places are starting to become all the rage across the different cities. Here we have Wildside Smoke Shop. All sorts of stickers in their windows. Once again, that's like if you want bongs, pipes, cigarettes, anything like that, that's where you go. And then here we have Scrooge Mackey. Not quite sure what Scrooge Mackey serves. Let's have a look at their menu. Oh, never mind, they're closed until January 14th. So you gotta wait a little while to eat your Scrooge Mackey. Oh, looks like they got all sorts of sushi rolls and everything. Looks like some good healthy options. That's always a bonus. All right, guys, and from this point, we're gonna keep walking down just the way we came and go see the parts of the hill down there. All right, and down here we have Innisfree, and that is a coffee shop that's been here a long time. Some of my professors would even do their office hours inside there. And if I remember correctly, they had live music some nights. Definitely a place you want to check out. It's kind of a staple of the hill, and it's where all the cool people hang out. So if you want to be cool, that's the place to go. Just kidding, you're already cool. All right, so I'm going to try to not get hit by this Jeep. And as we're coming down now, past Innisfree. Oh, they also do live poetry there. That's why everyone likes it too. And then here you see we have an Insomnia cookie. They do specialized cookies. And then we have a Rush Bowl on the hill. And coming down here, we'll be at a piercing shop and then a pipe shop, and it's called K&K. We got a cool little store in there. Go check them out. All sorts of kind of random cool stuff. All sorts of jewelry. Got a little bit of everything. A little bit of everything. And then from here, we're actually going to cross the street because I want you guys to see this up close. We're going to Full Cycle, which is a bicycle shop on the hill. And right next to that, we have a hookah lounge right there. And then we have Full Cycle. And if you guys remember, there are a ton of bike shops around Boulder, especially down on Pearl Street, but they have one up here on the hill too. And then this is Half Fast Subs. Half Fast Subs is a staple of the hill. Gotta go there if you're here. They do all sorts of different sub sandwiches, and then what they became known for was pictures of Long Island's, I think. They did these pictures that were just crazy. And they actually ended up limiting everybody to one picture because people would go and have two and like couldn't make it home. So if they ever offer you a picture, be careful. Here's Everyday. I don't think they've painted or like updated the front of their store for like the last 15 years because It looks just as rough as it did back then. All right. Oh, snap. And from here we have this bar. Oh, man. Fire, fire, fire. All right. And this shop right here used to be called the Goose. And the Goose was like the most poppin' bar on the hill. Looks like there's nothing inside it currently, which is kind of crazy. But they were known for having ladies' night on the hill, where ladies could drink till free until midnight, and it got rowdy there. And then after the Goose went out, a different bar went in, and all these like Wookiee people were hanging out there, and it looks like that bar has gone out of business. So going from there, we're now going to keep going down. Next spot is the Fitter, and the Fitter's kind of like the Root on the hill in a way, where they have all sorts of different clothing. They have all sorts of different smoking stuff, bongs, pipes, all of that. If you want to go get the actual pot, you need to go to a dispensary. They do not sell anything like that because they are too close to the college campus. Go check them out though. They also have tons of cool clothes. Here we have Tai Ling Oriental Cafe. I've never eaten there and I've always meant to, so I don't know. I'm guessing they're good. They've been there a while. Ooh. And then we have You and Me Chinese foods. From there, the next spot is another famous spot on the hill, and this is Bova's. And Bova's, the rumor has it, and I don't know if this is true, that the owners of Bova's were originally part of the family that owned Smelly Deli, but then they had a disagreement with that part of the family. So part of the family split off, and then they started Bova's. So Smelly Deli and Bova's both do little diners inside where you can sit down and eat. Smelly Deli's open 24/7. Well, I don't remember if Bova's is, but Bova's was known for having very good yet cheap cheeseburgers. Like, I think they were $5 and everyone loved them. There's Santiago's, pretty popular burrito spot in Colorado. And then here we have Cosmo's Pizza. My good buddy used to manage that location. And that is where all the drunk college kids go to try to sober up at the end of the night and get their wits about them. Soak up the booze with some pizza. But if you're old enough, there's also the Mystery Bar. And as you can see, it does not have any markings on the door. Open daily, 4 to 1. And it is the same people that own Cosmo's Pizza, but it's a bar. So if you go inside there, you can actually order pizza while sitting at the bar. So that's a pro tip right there. From there, we have Dot's Diner coming down some more. And we have a laundromat next to that. Dot's Diner is very good. I used to like to go there for breakfast. Good, reasonable breakfast. Up top, you can see that there's a bunch of different spots. There's a tattoo spot. There used to be a hookah lounge up there. I'm no longer sure if that is there. They got sushi bowls. Looks like a lot of sushi has gone in on the hill, which I fully endorse. That's awesome. Then we got Boulder Rental. And then from there, we'll come over and we'll wrap around the front side of the hill. And two, if you can see, that's a Bova's sign also right there. And that is the frozen custard sign. I don't know if they still do it, but they used to do frozen custard out of there whenever the weather permitted. So I'd go there and get a mint chocolate chip. All right, coming back to Broadway. This is probably the busiest, one of the busiest streets in Boulder. It runs north to south. All right, here's DP Do's. DP Do's does giant calzones, open till 4 a.m. or later. Pretty good. They do tons of deliveries. Usually we would just get it delivered every time. And then from there, we're at Pop's Chicken on the hill. And this is new, but they got a gigantic chicken. That's pretty neat. All right. And you guys, I lied. That Starbucks is no longer there. That's where the other Starbucks used to be, but it has been bulldozed. So as you can see, we are on the hill. That'll wrap it up.